Greetings! In this video we are going to be looking at the Allegro found on page 57 of the Christopher Parkening Classical Guitar Method Volume 1. I'm going to go ahead and play through the piece and then provide some playing recommendations. So in this case, I follow the dynamic markings that were provided. So at the beginning we have that P, which stands for piano, which means soft. And then we move into a mezzo forte, and it's sudden. It's not a crescendo into it. And then we have our forte. And I would really focus on the bass. That's really where the melody is in this piece. So have a listen to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. So the most melodic movement is really happening in the bass, and the rest of what's happening in the top is texture that gives us harmony that sets context for that melody. So for example, if I had an A in the bass but I had that, it's going to sound very different than that. Or maybe if I had started with this, maybe to a minor A, it just totally changes how we hear everything when we put different chords over the piece. So that's how it's constructed, is we have a melody in the bass and we have texture in the top. Melody, texture. The A's in this next measure are texture in the top, while the bottom has a melody. And then in this measure, it's just a D minor chord over a D, and then our melody again, E dominant, A minor, E dominant, A minor, and so on. So as you play this piece, you want to emphasize what is melody. And one of the tricky things about music is that higher notes tend to stand out to the ear more. So instead of playing my bass notes the same volume as my high notes, what we want to do is overemphasize the bass notes so that they are significantly louder and it is immediately clear to the listener what is the melody. With music, we guide the ear of the listener to know what is important and when. You can feel free to add whatever dynamic markers you want to this piece. You can gradually crescendo, gradually decrescendo, you can experiment with it. Because as the description here provides, these are dynamic markers that were added by the editors. And there's a lot of room for interpretation. And I would find your personal style. What do you think sounds good? And try things you would never try. Even encourage someone else to do the same exercise and see what they come up with. I do that with my students often, and I'm often surprised at how different their interpretations are. And ones that they apply rules that I wouldn't apply. They work by a logic that I wouldn't work by, and as a result, I get to experience just a whole new approach to interpreting a piece of music. So I encourage you to A, work with others, and B, experiment. Try being random, try using patterns, and see what comes out, see what sounds good to you. But this piece can be a lot of fun. It can be played a myriad of ways, and it can be played very quickly as well because of how the fingerings are written. So I would encourage you to get to know this one, get comfortable with it, get used to playing it fast, slow, and with all sorts of different dynamic interpretations. There's a lot to be mined out of this piece. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. God bless.